Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about how a narcissistic person will use the loss of a loved one against you. Whether that is the loss of one of their perceived loved ones or one of your loved ones. As when it comes to narcissistic people, they tend to lack the emotional empathy to genuinely care about others. So they can put the grandiose act on that they care. However, more often than not, they don't. They lack the empathy to do so. Some narcissistic people aren't necessarily aware of this within themselves. Their narcissism kind of disguises this from themselves. Other narcissists are very well aware that they do not care for other people. When it comes to the loss of a loved one, we can all handle this differently. And those with empathy usually have compassion to try and understand what someone else is going through, even if they don't understand the behaviour that that other person is putting themselves or other people through. They try to be supportive and understanding, which is exactly what a narcissistic person needs to be able to get away with their manipulation of you. They need your compassion, they need your understanding so that they can continue their hurtful behaviour towards you and then rationalise it away, justify it away by the claiming that the loss of a loved one has made them do something or act in some way. When it comes to a narcissist, there is no low they won't go in order to manipulate somebody to get their needs met. And a narcissist will use the loss of a loved one in the idolization stage of the relationship. When you've lost a loved one, a narcissist can come into your life as your hero. They can come along and be there for you and be supportive towards you to influence you into creating an identity, a belief of that person, that they are genuine, that they are caring, that they are compassionate, that they are supportive, that they will be there for you, and also to create feelings of obligation because of the things they've done for you. So you feel obligated into returning the favour to them when they're going through difficulties because they supported you. And as people do support each other through difficult times, it's very difficult to recognise when a narcissist is supporting you purely to exploit you. Or they can use the loss of one of their loved ones in the idolization stage to pity play with you, to influence you into caring and showing compassion towards them, to influence you in being there for them. And as you do have empathy, as you can show compassion, as you can put yourself in another person's shoes, you naturally want to be there for them. However, this isn't done to exploit them, to hurt them, to punish them, to use it against them. This is done because you care and you want to help them through the pain they are going through, often not recognizing that they are the ones that are actually trapping you. Because people can be supportive of people who have lost a loved one, because people can have genuine empathy to care. And that's how narcissistic people tend to get away with their behaviour. Their behaviour can be everyday behaviour, how most people behave. However, their intentions behind their behaviour are very different, and they covertly hide these intentions from people. A narcissist will use the loss of one of their loved ones to devalue you. They will devalue you, they will punish you, they will hurt you, and then they will downplay their behaviour by claiming it's because of the loss of a loved one. You know what I'm like at this time of the year. You know how that affected me. So that we in some way excuse their abusive treatment. Naturally, when someone's lost a loved one, if they want space, those with compassion will naturally give them space. A narcissist will often want space so that they can go and find a new source of supply, yet accuse you of not being there for them. So it's a case of, with a narcissistic person, you are damned if you do and damned if you don't. That double bind, you cannot win with a narcissistic person. They're going to use the loss of a loved one as leverage to gain what they want from you or what they want from those around you. So they will use the time of year that they lost a loved one every year to act in ways that are hurtful towards you, and then they will justify their behaviour by claiming it's because of the loss of a loved one, and because you have compassion for them, you can then forgive them, you can then give them space, you can give them time. And all a narcissistic person learns is that they can get away with this behaviour. Now, people can go through difficulties every year on the anniversary of the loss of a loved one. However, they don't go around punishing their loved ones. Narcissistic people go around punishing their loved ones. They use the loss of a loved one as an excuse to punish those they claim they care about. Or they will use the loss of one of your loved ones in order to devalue you, in order to pull you down, in order to claim that, have you not got over this by now? They show very little compassion when you've lost a loved one. They might do when they're playing your hero, when they're idolizing you, or when they're coming back to hoover you. But when they're devaluing you, there's going to be very little to no compassion towards you about the loss of a loved one. They're going to expect you to just get up and crack on with it. They're going to claim that you should have let this go by now, that they weren't that important to you. They're going to use the loss of your loved one to devalue you. They might ruin the funeral. They will go all out to bring the attention back onto themselves and to hurt and punish you. They're going to use the loss of your loved one to get you to underestimate your perfectly normal feeling. They're going to make you feel like you're in the wrong so they can further punish you. A narcissist will use the loss of a loved one in the discard of the relationship. And the discard is to throw away or to get rid of something that you no longer find of use to you, which is exactly what narcissistic people do. When they no longer find someone of use to them, when they no longer can get the supply they want from a person, they often will discard a person, and they will use the loss of a loved one to discard you. Whether that is the loss of one of their loved ones, which they will use as an excuse to go off the rails and go out and cheat on you and start partying hard, drinking hard, taking drugs, abusing you because of what they're going through. And as people can become addicted to alcohol, people can become addicted to drugs, most people can sympathise, most people can show some form of compassion, because life is painful, life is hard, life is difficult. We all face challenges, we all go through mistakes, so we can usually show some compassion to those who have lost a loved one that are acting out in this way. However, a narcissist lacks the emotional empathy to care for how their behaviour hurts you. They're just looking for ways to justify and excuse their hurtful behaviour so they can get away with their behaviour. People can go off the rails, however, genuine people aren't looking to hurt those they care about. Narcissistic people usually are. Or if you've lost a loved one, a narcissist can use this as an excuse to leave, usually because narcissistic people are looking for that external validation, meaning they're usually looking for that adoration, they're usually looking for that attention. And when you've got painful things going off in your life and you've lost a loved one, the narcissist is no longer getting the attention that they believe they're entitled to. And they can also be envious of the attention you're getting from people, to which a narcissist will use this as an excuse to up and leave you, claiming that you're the one that's no longer there for them, you're depressed, you're going the wrong way. And they will not be supportive of you because it is an excuse for a narcissist to discard you so that they can get their supply elsewhere. A narcissist will use the loss of one of their loved ones to hoover you back in, to pity play with you, to gain that compassion from you, to get you to feel bad for them, to get you to be there for them. And because you do care about them, you usually will be there for them. Or they will use the loss of one of your loved ones to hoover you back in. You lose a loved one and they will turn up, or they will turn up every year on the anniversary to try and suck you back in. They'll not leave you alone. Now, as when we can hear about somebody that we might not see regularly that's lost a loved one, so we might go and be there for them, but there's no ulterior motive. It's just because you feel compelled to be there for somebody who's going through something, and it's usually just a friend or a family member that you chat to and you get on with, but you just don't see on a regular basis. When it's an ex-partner or an ex-friend that has hurt you in some way and you've gone your separate ways, and then all of a sudden when you're about to lose a loved one, they reappear, or when you've lost a loved one, they reappear, just be careful around that person, because they might have suddenly hit a light bulb moment, but if they're showing signs of narcissism more often than not, they're coming back to take advantage of you, to lap up the attention, to lap up the pain that other people are going through. And a narcissist will use the loss of a loved one in the smear campaign against you. So if they've lost a loved one and they've used this as an excuse to justify to people why they've cheated, or justify to you why they've cheated on you, they're going to be justifying their cheating to others by claiming that you were the one that weren't there for them when they lost a loved one, to get people to look poorly on you and not the narcissist and what they've done to you. Because the narcissist has lost a loved one and then claiming that you weren't there for them, most people will sympathise and show compassion towards the narcissist and hold a grudge against you. When it comes to a narcissist smear campaign, they're looking to slander your name. They're looking to throw out as many false accusations as they can, so they can ruin other people's reputations, so that they can ruin your reputation. They're going to accuse you of all sorts of things, and they're going to try and accuse you of things that they can drag you into, so they can use your defences against you. When a narcissist is smearing your name, your best defence is to walk away and leave them to it. If people want to believe the narcissist lies, leave them to it also. Focus on your plan, focus on the things you want out of your life. Or they will use the smear campaign and the death of one of your loved ones to claim that the reason they left you was because they tried all they could to help you, but you've lost the plot, you won't let go, that you were draining them, that they tried absolutely everything they could to be there for you. They might even claim that you cheated on them when you didn't. They were the ones that cheated on you, but they're going to do all they can to paint you out, to be the bad one, to be the toxic one, so that people support the narcissist, so that the narcissist's true character isn't revealed. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, or any signs of how you noticed a narcissist use the loss of one of their loved ones or one of your loved ones against you or those around you, please do add those into the comments. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and make a plan for your life so that you've got something to aim for. And remember, when you first try something new, more often than not, you're going to suck at it. It's how we learn, by trying things, making mistakes, getting up and going again. So make that plan of what you would like from your life, and then start taking the baby steps to get you there, and go and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.